As a wildlife cameraman and nature storyteller, purchasing the Komodo X last year was the culmination of years of hard work. Since then, I've used this camera on plenty of hired shoots, as well as my own personal projects. I have loved its versatility, incredible image, and ease of use. Whether I'm filming wildlife in Yellowstone or following a team of divers and researchers in the field, this camera has so many different features that make it perfect for the work that I do. But this camera does have one giant flaw. Disclaimer, I bought this camera and all of its accessories and doohickeys and everything with my own money. I've never had a conversation with anybody at RED. I just really enjoy their cameras for the work that I do. And I even bought it literally like 3 weeks to a month before they dropped the price on it by like $3,000. So that was painful. So to get this out of the way, I love this camera. If you're looking into getting a cinema camera, I highly, highly recommend the Komodo X, especially with how quote unquote cheap this camera is right now. I never really thought an A-cam worthy RED camera would be at this price point. I mean, you can find some of these things used for $5,000, sub $5,000 if you really spend some time looking. And that's pretty unheard of, in RED's history. I mean, when they first came out with ESMC2 cameras, they were like $40,000. So I would definitely recommend this camera for any documentary, nature, or wildlife storytellers. Oh, my light just went away. It sucks. So I'd recommend this camera because of its versatility. I can use this camera totally rigged up like it is right now to follow a subject in the field. I was recently hired to film a team of researchers and divers deploying a BRUV, which is a baited remote underwater vehicle off the coast of Santa Cruz Island, and the Komodo X really shined in this scenario. I was able to capture a whole bunch of B-roll of the team prepping and deploying this really cool vehicle attached with lights and GoPros, which allowed us to get a picture of the underwater world in the Channel Islands National Marine Sanctuary. I love the mid-49 XLR adapter, which allows me to plug 2 channels of XLR audio. Typically, I'm rocking a shotgun and a lavalier. Right into the back of the camera, there's a 5-pin LEMO that this adapter just plugs right into. This allows me to have a killer lav and shotgun combination to cover all my bases when filming somebody in C2. Typically for that, I have a shorter 24-70 on there, but I can also throw this longer lens on here to film wildlife. And I'm currently trying to figure out a way to throw a 70-200 on there and throw it on the RS3 Pro to have a makeshift GSS or shot over system for the boat. I think the 70-200 I have is a little heavy. It's a 2.8, so I might try the F4, and I think that will work better. Now, all the RED accessories that I have on here, like the top handle, the side handle, the monitor, they all work seamlessly with this camera, ensuring that I'm always on my A game. I recommend this camera because of its crisp and clean image. The RED RAW is so extremely handy when filming in dynamic conditions. Shooting at the 6K RAW really allows me to color images really beautifully. It allows me to adjust for exposure if I don't nail the shot in camera on a super sunny day. And it allows me to punch in a little bit when producing a 4K timeline. The plethora of frame rate options means I can capture slow-mo of animals and follow subjects in a verite setting. And I recommend this camera for its ease of use. Its small size is super handy when following a subject in the field or tracking an animal. Now, typically when it has its 24-70 on there, when I'm like following a subject or something, and I take it out on the boat, I can actually fit it in this pretty small Pelican. Okay, it looks giant on the screen, but it's actually pretty small. So the fact that I can fit, a fully rigged out A-cam in that Pelican and know that it's totally safe from saltwater, sun, getting sat on, is super, super crucial for when I'm out filming on the boat. I also love how easy it is to navigate the RED settings. I think the simplistic yet fully integrated layout of RED settings is far and away above any other camera system. I have access to all of the super important settings like resolution, frame rate, white balance, and recording quality right here on the monitor at all times. Look at my dog. I just dropped something and she got really scared and went into the corner. Luna, you're okay. All right, she's gonna sit under my desk. Now the giant, major, glaring, unavoidable, stupid, ridiculous flaw with this camera is the boot up time. I mean, seriously, look at this. Okay, let's see how long it takes us to turn on. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, still going, still going, still going. Nothing yet. Still nothing. Okay, now it's going somewhere. 24 seconds in. Okay, so now the screen's turning on. It's still not on, still not on. And so now it reaches a point where, okay, I can start to see some things, so I can like focus, but if I actually want to change settings, it still won't let me change settings. So it's still not fully operational yet. I can't change any. There we go. Now, just probably 50 seconds in, it became operational. Now this is just absolutely ridiculous. When filming out in the ocean, things can change in an instant. You could have a whale logging at the surface doing nothing for hours, and in a moment's notice it explodes out of the water, or starts feeding, or starts rolling around with another whale. You just never really know how to predict animals, and that's really the reality of all wildlife filmmaking. You could be following a researcher or scientist in the field and miss a soundbite because the camera is powering up. Obviously, this doesn't apply to just wildlife filmmaking. If you use this camera, it applies to all kinds of filmmaking. And the obvious solution is to just have enough power to keep this thing running all day, which I do. I have a bunch of those Core SWX Nano Micro V-Lock batteries, mouthful. But still, like, there's definitely times where I want to turn off the camera to conserve that battery, or there's times when I want to turn off the camera when things are a little bit slow. This really isn't too big of a problem when you're working on a set with a bunch of different resources and personnel and ability to charge, but when you're in a remote location or you're on a boat, this can become a problem for sure. So the simple solution is to just buy enough batteries that you don't even have to think twice about keeping this thing powered all day. My argument to that is that no other camera companies have this problem. You should be able to just turn on your camera right away and start filming. I don't know if this is fixable in some sort of firmware update or what, but I just think it's preposterous that it takes a camera this long to turn on in 2025. Maybe I'm being a crybaby, but that's how I see it. Now, while I love the Komodo X for all of its different features that really make my job a lot easier, there's a whole bunch of things that I really love about this camera. I do hope at some point they can do something to kind of lessen the pain on this one giant flaw. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about the Komodo X or any of the other work that I do, please leave them in the comment section down below. If you guys enjoy these kind of gear related videos or these different topics that I run into in my career, whether it's gear, story, animals, or whatever, definitely let me know. I'd love to make some more for you. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.